and why I think the devs are wrong. So we're just gonna get into it. Like I said, I already spent 30 minutes on this, so I'm just gonna rush it through. So I'm sorry, I cannot do my previous in-depth analogy analytics of it. I'm just going into it because blah blah blah. I'm done. I'm tired. I've already spent my time here. I have to work out too. I have to do a lot of things. So I just got to get this done. So the big problem with Baldur's Gate 3 is that the developers said essentially it is too big. You can't expect us to do it. And I'm saying yes, you can. It is that simple. Especially if you are a 400 or more plus team. If Larian can do it, you can do it. All these other games just don't want to do it because microtransactions, or the Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't have microtransactions or any transactions at all in the game. Especially at the end game, like there is none. Like you buy the game and the game is that. And that's what a lot of people appreciate it for. Developers don't like that because obviously if you get rid of microtransactions, you get rid of money. And also they want to do that because they don't really care about the fan base. They only care about the money. And yeah, because that's how that works. You're a business. You're trying to get money. But Larian said, no, we are going to make a game for people and do what the people want. And they did. They delivered. And that is why it's one of the best games on the planet right now. And it's probably going to be one of the best games ever. A lot of people said a lot of stuff. I am not going back into this. A lot of people said a lot of things essentially saying the same thing of it is too big or you cannot expect this to be the baseline, even though we do expect it to be the baseline now. With exceptions to small teams, obviously. We can't just do that. Baseline does exist because that's how all of society works. So I'm not even going to get into that. Baldur's Gate 2 existed too, so I mean you can't really say anything else. What was it? Even the Diablo 4 senior designer also had some takes on it. And it's funny because we're also just like, no, Diablo 4 failed. You gave us something we didn't want. Oh, for example, Fextra Life's take that Baldur's Gate is going to be Game of the Year by a landslide. Yeah, the pressure is on now. We'll try not to. Thanks for that. Oozes of energy through the studios just right now. I mean, yeah, that's how that goes. And then apparently, top 5 million units sold. There's a reason why, because it's a really good game. Another thing I discussed very simply was Baldur's Gate 3 is number 1 in a top 10 list from August 3rd, from the 1st through the 8th, or top sellers on Steam. And then it was the best-selling product on the platform the week of August 8th or 15th. And that is a game that's, I think, at least $70 from a 400 person studio. While for 4 free games, 5. I don't really know much about Yu-Gi-Oh, but there are 4 major, well, Naraka, I don't know. But there are at least 3 major hitters that still did not really 2020? That couldn't even beat this because people really, really, really enjoy Baldur's Gate. And that is Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, Apex Legends, and PUBG. Those 3 combined still can't beat Baldur's Gate. Or at least those 3 in general cannot beat Baldur's Gate. Which is funny because those are all free live action or live service games. So you're telling me that live service is what's coming for the future? It's like, no, we just want good games. And yes, Baldur's Gate 3 is a huge game, but they could do it. So can you. It is simple as that. There are nuances to it. I understand, but I don't have the time to discuss it right now. That is a future thing, and I'll do it later. Oh, it's actually, a good example right now to kind of close off with this before I get off. Starfield. Yeah, exactly. 6th of September. Starfield. It is supposed to be one of the biggest games in the ideas of Bethesda in general. And it has a lot riding on it. A lot. The biggest issue is we do not want it to be microtransactions. We don't want it to be on the internet. We want it to be a very, very big game that we can enjoy. But we want it to be perfect. I'm sorry, we do. Because people have messed up too many times now with video games that we're just like, you got to make it good. If it's going to be $70, you got to make it worth $70. None of this Redfall, none of this Cyberpunk 2077, and now only rebooting it out almost 2 years later and then making it the actual game we want. Like, none of this. Make it good. If you can't make it good or really good day one, then wait longer. Redo it and be like, sorry, we've decided that the game itself is no longer really applicable. We are going to redo it, and it's sadly, we're going to have to take another 2 years. I don't care. I do not want another Cyberpunk 2077. I don't want another Redfall, and I do not want another Saints Row. I waited for Saints Row. I waited for Saints Row and Diablo 4, and both of those, all the new games are fucked up. Pardon my language, they are. They really, really pissed me off. And I'm sorry, I'm just in a mood now, but that's my take on it. I can't go into depth with it because I just can't put it into words right now. Regardless, I do hope y'all enjoy, and that is my take on the game. Have fun. Have a good night, y'all.